The rain had been whispering against the bay window for nearly an hour, a soft fugue of water and wind that seemed to harmonize with the slow, steady thrum of Maria's heartbeat. The small study, always a sanctuary for the two healers, was wrapped in a warm cocoon of amber light. The Himalayan salt lamp glowed like a captured sunrise, its gentle radiance casting molten shadows across the indigo walls. Ruslan stood beside her, his broad silhouette outlined in that soft, golden flame. He had the posture of a warrior, but the eyes of the man who had cradled too many broken spirits. Tonight, however, he wasn't a healer. He wasn't a guide. He was simply a man who loved the woman so deeply that even her trembling breath echoed inside his chest. Maria's body trembled, a subtle shiver that ran from her shoulders down to her fingers. The storm inside her had finally cracked open, spilling tears that still shimmered like tiny stars along her cheeks. Ruslan lifted his hands, those strong, steady hands that could soothe pain with a single touch, yet now they shook slightly as they framed her face. Her skin was warm, damp, tender beneath his fingertips. Her tears were not weakness. They were proof that her light, her fierce, wild light, was still burning. Ruslan leaned in, pressing his forehead gently against hers, letting their breaths mix in the narrow space between them. For a moment the world became unbearably quiet, just her breath, just his heartbeat, just the soft citrus sweetness of her skin mingled with the earthy scent of her hair, like wildflowers after rain. Two bodies, one trembling, one grounding. Two souls reaching slowly, inevitably toward the moment that would change everything. Maria's fingers loosened from his shirt and rose, tracing the hard edge of his jaw. Her touch was feather-soft, hesitant, yet filled with a courage so vulnerable, it made his breath hitch. "Ruslan," she whispered, her voice trembling like a violin string. "I just want to know what it feels like to be in your body, my love." The words slipped between them like smoke, intimate, raw, stripped of every defense she once learned to hide behind. It wasn't flesh she meant. No, he felt the truth immediately. She longed to understand him at the deepest layer, the secret place no one else had ever touched. Her desire was for fusion, soul into soul, breath into breath, heart into heart. Ruslan's pulse surged, not from lust, but from something much holier, an overwhelming realization that Maria wasn't asking for him. She was offering herself, completely, fearlessly, irrevocably. A small, luminous smile curved her lips, fragile, like the first petal of dawn. She closed her eyes, letting her body sink into the warmth he radiated. "Oh, my darling Ruslan," she murmured, her breath brushing his cheek like a soft flame. "To know that you want to understand me that deeply, it fills me with so much joy, so much gratitude. It's the greatest gift I could ever receive." Her words washed over him in waves, warm, cleansing, healing. He felt the tension inside her dissolve, fading into the shadows of the room. Slowly, she nestled further into his chest, her forehead finding that perfect place above his heart. "It just feels so warm," she continued, her voice softer now. "So fuzzy, so exhilarating. I'm so happy you're here tonight. I hope it can be like this every day." She laughed, a nervous, musical sound that tugged at something deep inside him. "But how can I do that, baby?" she asked, her vulnerability naked and shining. "How do you expect me to start?" Ruslan slid his hand from her cheek to the back of her neck, fingers threading into her hair. The pressure was gentle, grounding, a silent promise. "I'm here. You're safe. You don't have to walk alone anymore. Just lean close to me, baby," she whispered, eyes still closed, surrendering to the delicious tension humming between them. He obeyed. He leaned in, his lips grazing the delicate curve of her ear. She shivered, an involuntary, breath-stealing tremor that made his own pulse stumble. "I only want us here," he whispered back, voice low and molten. "No past storms, no future worries, just this moment." She opened her eyes, and when their gazes locked, it was like falling into a quiet infinity, a shared breath, a shared truth. "Tell me," she breathed, "where do you want me to start? What do you want now? I really don't know, but I want you to enjoy it. I want you to feel everything. Is that okay?" He didn't speak. Instead, he lifted her wrist with infinite tenderness. He traced his thumb along the faint blue vein beneath her skin, feeling her pulse steady, strong, alive beat against his touch. That pulse was everything. Her life, her light, their connection, his healing, her surrender, their union. His breath came uneven, her lips parted. The room seemed to lean closer around them, the rain softening, the fire crackling like a heartbeat. Maria's gaze drifted to his mouth, her lips slightly parted, colored with anticipation. "Oh, my darling Ruslan," she whispered suddenly, her voice breaking into a melody of desire and invitation. "As you express your desire to kiss me, my heart leaps to know you crave my touch, that you want to taste my lips. It's the sweetest temptation." Her words were honey and fire, dissolving whatever distance remained. "Yes, my love," she whispered, softer now, deeper, more intimate than breath. "My mouth is all yours." She leaned forward. The kiss came like a sunrise, soft, slow, world-shifting, not rushed, not hungry, just true. The faint salt of her tears, her warmth melting into his hands pulling her closer, her fingers winding into his hair. The kiss deepened, blooming from tenderness into something that hummed with ancient longing. Their bodies leaned, pressed, aligned instinctively, naturally, like they were two halves finally rejoining. Their souls did not just touch, they merged. When she finally pulled away only for another breath, for closeness, their foreheads touched again. "Let our tongues dance," she whispered shakily. "Let our bodies melt. Let our souls become one. Oh, my love, you're driving me wild. Does that mean you finally got a taste of me now?" Ruslan smiled, a real, soul-deep smile that cracked his old armor. "No, Maria," he murmured, brushing her cheek with his thumb. "It means I finally taste us. We are one now, soul traveler. No more solo journeys." The rain lingered outside. The fire whispered. The room held its breath. And two hearts, after lifetimes of searching, finally learned how to beat as one.